A brand new year, a brand new us, and I welcome you to a brand new episode of Car Saathi, your one-stop car buying comparative guide. We are going to make something brand new for you. We're making a series of 3 episodes with 100 cars. You heard that right, 100 cars that are going to be launched in India in 2022. As a matter of fact, it is more than 100 cars, but without much ado, let's skip to the good part. This is Shishir and you're watching Car Saathi. In the first part of the series, we are going to take a look at all the cars in all the segments, including hatchbacks, MPVs, SUVs and sedans, beginning with Maruti Suzuki India Limited, because every second car that you see plying on the streets of India today is a Maruti Suzuki. The first one in the portfolio of the ever-expanding portfolio of Maruti Suzuki is the all-new Alto. This is going to be a generation change and you will see a brand new car. Of course, this will be available in petrol and CNG because Maruti has completely discontinued diesels from its portfolio. You will also see the all-new Celerio. We've done a review of that car in the recent past, and if you have not seen that, you can do that by clicking on the information icon on your screens. The link of that video is also available in the description box down below. You will also see a brand new Bolero in the portfolio, and we have seen quite a few shots of the Bolero here and there, and this is what it will look like. Maruti Suzuki is doing all the homework for Toyota Kirloskar Motors, and you will see the Glanza facelift as well, if not immediately, by the end of this year or early next year, because it's essentially the same car. And of course, you will also see a lot that is happening at the Honda stable as well, beginning with the Casper. We hear that the Casper will compete against the likes of the Ignis, maybe the TATA Punch, and we're looking forward to see something as exciting as what the Casper looks like, because it certainly looks very promising. Of course, then you have the Tata Tiago in the Tata portfolio, because well, base 6 came and the Tiago and the Tigor diesels didn't make it there. So that is a story of the past, and now Tata wants to introduce CNG variants of these cars. We've seen a few spy shots of those as well, and you will see them very soon in a showroom. If rumors are to be believed, you may be able to see the Brio plying on the streets of India again. This time around, it will be a facelift. Doesn't look like the old Brio, looks a lot smarter, but Honda doesn't have a lot of cars. And then of course the bread and butter model of the Honda Jazz, which you will see a complete generation change of, because this one is a little long in the tooth. It is time to talk about the hot hatch of the segment, which remains the Volkswagen Polo. It was launched in 1700 BC and it is still here. It is going to outlast Volkswagen, even looks like, because the new Volkswagen was launched 2 years ago internationally. Of course, there were restrictions. Now we hope to see it very soon, but if rumors are to be believed, the current generation Polo will be sold alongside the new car. We're not sure how we feel about that, but that's how it is. We will also possibly see the new Fabia from the Skoda portfolio. It's an exciting car, looks good. The new one looks exceptionally beautiful inside out. There's a lot going on for the car. But if Zach Hollis is to be believed, the gentleman has recently, in his recent interviews, mentioned that the focus is not on hatchbacks but bigger cars, because you know, bigger cars is bigger moolah. But we hope to see it at least towards the end of this year or early next year. Well, fingers crossed, because it again is a hot hatch, nothing that matches up against the Fabia. Let's talk SUVs, shall we? Because SUVs are the rage and everybody wants one. Maruti Suzuki has decided to revamp its entire portfolio, beginning with the Bolero, but you will see a brand new Suzuki Vitara Brezza in the portfolio very soon. These are a few spy shots that we have seen recently of the car. According to us, looks really sharp, but something that looks even sharper is the 2022 S-Cross. We hope to God that they get rid of that 4-speed automatic from 1970s, and I think this time around it will be a 6-speed automatic. Of course, there will be a few other engine options. There might be a 1-liter turbocharged petrol as well, but we have our fingers crossed. The car looks really good. I hope it drives as beautifully as it looks. against which will go the likes of the facelifted Hyundai Venue. It has been around for a while and it deserves a facelift of its own. This is what it looks like in spy shots. Of course, then you have the Creta, which is just around the corner. We're not too sure about the design. It is far too modern. Maybe in personal opinion it is even uglier than it already looks to us. What do you think about the look? It is subjective, of course. Do let us know in the comments box down below. Of course, then you have a Toyota sitting idle and waiting for Maruti Suzuki to make new models for it to just simply rebadge. We have already seen that with the Glanza, and this time around we are going to probably see it with the Urban Cruiser, because the Urban Cruiser then would look a lot older than the Vitara Brezza once it has been launched. So we hope to see a facelift of that as well. Besides which, if things go right for Toyota India, we could probably see the RAV4 as well. Now this is a little up in the segment, competing against the likes of the Creta. Speaking of which, the Creta of course has the facelift, and we also have something called as the Sport Arch that is going to be placed right above the Creta. We hope to see it soon from the Kia portfolio. Speaking of Kia, we are also hoping to see the Telluride, but this may be too soon for Kia to take that plunge, because we're still going to have to wait and see the Carens and how it performs. But we'll come to MPVs a little later. We will talk about the Palisade, which will go up against the Telluride. The Palisade is again a good looking car and will go up against the likes of the Skoda Kodiaq, which again is going to be launched around the 10th of January. And if you'd like to see a video of the Skoda Kodiaq, we have made one for you, and you can watch it by clicking on the information icon and watch that video there. The link of that is also available in the description box. Then again, you have the Mahindra portfolio that is going to expand and accommodate the all-new Scorpio. It is exciting, but it has a few younger siblings that will go up in the portfolio as well, including the Bolero Neo Plus. Now the Neo Plus is essentially a 9-seater version of the Bolero Neo, which essentially was the TUV 300 with an engine that was downsized from a 2.2 liter pot to a 1.5 liter pot. I'm not sure how a 1.5 liter pot is going to hold a candle against all that pulling weight and the weight of the car with 9 passengers in tow. But we don't know. We're just gonna have to wait until Mahindra gives us a solid thumbs up and tells us that this is what the car is, and we'll wait for the launch of that one. Tata is not too far behind, and the Tata Punch was recently launched, and you will see the Punch in the CNG form as well, because recently Tata has also discontinued smaller diesels like we've discussed in the Tiago and the Tigor. We would have hoped to see a diesel in the Punch, but this is not what it's going to be. Our pick of the lot still would be the Tata Punch turbocharged petrol that will take its inspiration from the Altro's turbocharged, and we hope to see Tata put that engine into the Tata Punch. We've already recently done a review of that as well. For those of you who have missed that review, you can click the information icon on your screens and watch the review of the Tata Punch. The link of that is also available in the description box. Citroën, Citrus, Citroën. It is Citroën, ladies and gentlemen, that has brought the C5 Aircross to us, and this time around it has brought the C3, which is a hatchback SUV that will go up against the likes of the Tata Punch or a slightly bigger Ford EcoSport. One second, the Ford EcoSport does not exist anymore. What is Ford doing? We'll talk about that in a moment when we take a look at the Kodiaq in detail. Of course, you'll have a comparison of that, but we will have you told that the Ford has exited the country but has not stopped operations. So we are very hopeful that it will bring a few cars in 2022. One of them is going to be the facelifted Endeavour. So it looks very good. It looks very chic. We will also see a 7-seater Jeep in the form of the Meridian, or the Commander as they are calling it at the moment. So it's not just an elongated version of the Compass, but a brand new car altogether inside out. It looks beautiful, it looks sharp, it will carry 7 people, and this is what it looks like on your screens. With Nissan having only 2 cars in its portfolio, the Nissan Magnite and the Nissan Kicks, it has decided to give us the Xterra and the XTrail for 2022. It has been teasing the XTrail and the XTera for a while internationally. They are available as separate products, of course, but you might get at least one of these in the portfolio to expand the portfolio of Nissan in India. But we think that Nissan is ready to pack its bags because it doesn't look like they're working hard on any new products at the moment, except for the two that we mentioned earlier and the GTR, the Godzilla, that is a personal favorite of mine. But that is not cutting it for Nissan, is it? Nissan needs to focus and bring in more products. Hopefully this year we'll see a lot in the Nissan portfolio. There is a substantial price difference between the Skoda Slavia and the Skoda Octavia, and Skoda might just bring in a brand new SUV in the form of maybe the Karoq or the Kamiq that it had showcased in earlier last year, and we hope to see one of those making it to the shores of India. Maybe this time around it can be a CKD and priced a little more aggressively to capture the market that is present there but no one to tap. You have the likes of the T-Roc from the Volkswagen family as well that we might see. This time around, however, you might see a T-Roc facelift. Another car manufacturer worth mentioning is the Haval from China. This Chinese car manufacturer will bring 4 cars in the Indian market in 2022 in the form of the F5, the F7, the H6 and the H9. We'll hold our verdict on that until we see them in the flesh, but we hope that Haval brings it to the country soon. With the recent launch of the Kia Carens, there is a whole lot that is going on in the MPV market as well. Maruti Suzuki is bringing in a facelifted Ertiga that is just around the corner. The XL6 will also receive a minor facelift. Toyota, on the other hand, will rebadge what Maruti Suzuki is manufacturing and sell them across their dealerships in the form of the Romeo, which is nothing but an Ertiga. You will also see the G10, which is the higher spectrum and will compete against the likes of the Carens. The G10 is from MG. But then again, this is not the end of it. The sky is the limit, and newer high-end MPVs will be seen in the market in 2022, including the Staria from Hyundai and the Stargazer. Besides this, you will also see the likes of the new Carens in the Kia portfolio. Let's talk cars, because Maruti Suzuki is bringing the all-new Ciaz. It's not really an all-new Ciaz, but a facelift of the current generation of the Ciaz, which was long due. You will see the same car in your local Toyota dealership in the form of the Belter, because that's what Toyota has been doing. It has been rebadging cars that are being manufactured by Maruti Suzuki in the form of the Glanza, which is nothing but the Baleno, the Romeo, which is nothing but the Ertiga, and now the Belter, which is nothing but the Ciaz. But if things are to look up for Toyota Motors, you might just be able to see the Toyota Camry, the all-new Camry that has been doing rounds for a while now. It might just get launched by the end of this very video, we don't know, but we have our fingers crossed. Other cars in the segment include the Hyundai Verna. The entire portfolio at Hyundai is receiving a revamp. Why not the Verna? Besides which, you will also see a new Elantra. We have our fingers crossed. We would like to see the i30 and the N line of the Elantra because they look sumptuous. They are very good looking cars, but we don't know what the response is like in the markets like India. But we are being optimistic and hope to see it in the near future. Since Tata discontinued its diesels, which did not make it to basics, the Tigor and the Tiago are going to be receiving a few updates, and they are in the form of the CNG variants. The Tigor will go up against the likes of the Maruti Suzuki Dzire. The Elantra will see a competitor in the form of the RC6 from the portfolio of MG. This is what it looks like on your screens. To compete against the Hyundai Verna are the City Hybrid and the Volkswagen Virtus that you will see in 2022. The City Hybrid claims to be the most fuel efficient car that India has seen. We'll take that with a pinch of salt. The Virtus is the successor to the Volkswagen Vento, and we hope to see it around the festival time. We may also see a few facelifted versions or new variants of the Skoda Octavia and the Skoda Superb. They have been around around for a while, especially the Superb, and we might just see an RS version of the same, but we're being too optimistic. We'll just have to wait and see. That brings us to the end of the part 1 of the series that we are doing for your viewing pleasure. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family. For those of you who haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification icon to receive updates when we make a brand new video like this one. There are 2 more parts coming up. Please do not forget to watch those. That's all from us. Until next time, this is your host Shishir signing off. Take care.